Action here in Houston, same area George Foreman is from. And Johnson said most of the guys I grew up with either went to jail, messed up their lives with drugs, or are dead. He said he made it out. He was one of the fortunate ones. As a matter of fact, on the bottom of your trunks, or the trunks of Johnson, you may see the name Rodney Baker, one of his friends who did not make it out.
Promising 24-year-old heavyweight from right here in Houston, stablemate.
Was shot and killed. And this fight dedicated by Reggie Johnson to his friend. 1 minute to go in the 8th round. WBA middleweight championship scheduled for 12. Watch the head, says referee Jerry McKenzie from Dallas. If this one goes to the cards, the judges come from Nova Scotia, Canada, San Antonio, Texas, and Brick, New Jersey. Hubert Earl from Nova Scotia, Rafael Ramos from San Antonio, and Richard Strange from Bricktown.
When you're fighting a good hitter, a good puncher like Lamar Parks is, if you're Reggie Johnson, you got to be busy in there. You got to throw many more punches to try to steal these rounds. You can't allow for him to sit there and wait and throw the heavy shots.
The aggressor now is the challenger, Lamar Parks, as we will pause for this word from your local cable sponsors. Peering down into this ring that holds two fighters vying for the middleweight championship. The champion in the white, Reggie Johnson. The challenger in the red, Lamar Parks. And now a timeout is called. The problem with the tape of the champion. Sean, 8 rounds down, possible 4 to go. How do you see this one developing on the Sean O'Grady official, unofficial scorecard?
I hate to jinx anybody, but I tell you, I've got Parks ahead. This is not the same Reggie Johnson that we've seen in the past. He is not busy. He's allowing for Lamar Parks to set the pace of this fight. Parks is the aggressor. He's landing the heavier blows. And Reggie Johnson is just not busy. There's another. When you sweat, you get that sweat on that tape on your gloves. It just comes loose.
It's contagious. Well, we know we're in Reggie Johnson's hometown, and the crowd boos when it happens to Parks, but didn't care when it happened to Reggie Johnson. So David Parks doing the work, and back in action they go. Reggie Johnson, a champion, and is essentially self-managed. I don't think he trusts anybody anymore. In 8 professional years of boxing, he's had 4 managerial changes. But he's brought the Goosens in as far as promotional considerations. And now it is Lamar Parks looking into his corner to his dad, getting some instructions.
Lamar Parks is looking for help. If Reggie Johnson can see that and realize that, perhaps he has to lean on his corner, but now is the time he needs to turn it up.
Parks takes the head of Reggie Johnson right in the face.
Lamar is complaining to the referee. He's looking over to his corner, his dad, for help. Right now is a good chance for Reggie Johnson to steal this fight. He's going to have to get busy. He's going to have to see it, and he's going to have to get busy.
You say that Reggie Johnson hasn't done enough. Lamar Parks, who comes in billed as a great power puncher, and now he picks it up, but he has not unleashed.
I think he's been pretty busy throughout this fight. There was 1 round. I've given 1 round to Johnson at the 4th round. The 5th round I called even.
And now Parks is going at him.
Here's Parks again, the same way he did earlier in this fight.
I'm talking about flurries. I'm talking about the combinations.
Plus the heavier blows. You know, against fighters with the heavier blows, you have to be more active to make up for the heavy shots.
Oh! Johnson gets in. Parks is wobbled here in the 9th, just as Parks was coming on.
We talked about the punching power of Parks. Reggie Johnson has some good power too. 20 KOs and 31 wins. You can't discard his power. Putting James Toney on the seat of his pants.
And the crowd chanting, Reggie, Reggie. Find out if this Reggie is Mr. October. 15 seconds left in round 5. Both fighters coming on. Both fighters scoring some big points here at the end of the 9th.
Next time you...
And he comes in as the underdog. You would think that alone would have him psyched for this one. But I don't know if I necessarily agree with you. Certainly not when we saw Virgil Hill and Frank Tate. I didn't think Tate came ready for that fight. And now a point has been taken away. A point has been taken away from, I believe,
that was
the referee.
Perhaps that was for holding.
A minute to go in the 10th.
Good body shots. Reggie Johnson, good combination.
But no point was taken away. Just a note was made by the referee of an accidental butt. So if a fight now is stopped because of that cut, it comes under the WBA accidental butt rule. 3 complete rounds or less, it's a technical draw. If it's stopped, more than 3, you go to the scorecards. But right now, not really.
More of that tape
not finding a cut.
In the amateurs, they have a little elastic band that they put around your wrist after they tape it. I wish they would adopt that for the professionals. That keeps that tape from coming loose. However, that is a good time for the referee to step in and stop the fight momentarily, and a good time for him to check out and assess how the fighter is mentally. You know, he takes a look at the fighter's eyes. He maybe asks him a question. Just kind of see how the fighter is.
And 10 rounds down and 2 to go.
Well, and that's why. See both of them going in at the same time. You go in, you have to be very careful you don't run your face into your opponent's head.
After that exchange, it's Reggie Johnson who bounces away from Park. Lamar Parks, the 22-year-old out of Greenville, South Carolina. A couple other champions who came from South Carolina didn't win the crown while they were living there. A guy by the name of Joe Frazier. Of course, early on moved to Philadelphia. Mark Breland, who moved up to New York. The jab. Reggie Johnson gets it going. And again. Matter of fact, when Breland won the welterweight title, came back to Columbia, South Carolina, his hometown, to make his defense, and was knocked out by Marlon Starling. So Parks wins that. He may want to keep that in mind. Halfway through round number 11. Reggie Johnson, cagey fighter, and he has been successful 31 times with 2 losses. Finds a way to win, with the exception of the Tony fight. And maybe banking on that now.
Well, he's a crafty fighter. He gets those punches in. He wastes very few punches. Look at the referee pulling those arms out. You get those arms tangled up, and you want the referee to break you. If the referee hits your arm, it keeps the fight going. Good job by McKenzie.
No knockdowns in this fight. Final minute of the 11th.
Oh, good combinations.
Again, the tape coming loose of Johnson. Doesn't want the referee to stop it now. Johnson coming on. Final 30 seconds of round number 11. Two fighters have kept up the crisp pace throughout 11. Upstairs goes Parks. 11 rounds down and 1 to go. Crowd reacts to the final round for the middleweight championship, WBA style. Holding the crown is the man in the right, Reggie Johnson. Lamar Parks in the red, the challenger, coming into Johnson's backyard to try to take that belt away.
And what you try to do, that final round, you let it all hang out. You throw everything you got, leave nothing in the corner.
Upping the tempo here in the opening seconds. Does that favor Lamar Parks, more of the puncher? Well, does Lamar Parks have that tendency to maybe leave himself open?
It's going to favor Lamar Parks if he's ahead. If he's not ahead, it could favor Reggie Johnson. Now Reggie getting Lamar running after him could land some heavy shots, maybe make Lamar run into something.